How do we do, what
Good.
do you call it?
We're
The
live. We're
pop.
live.
Oh, sorry.
Good morning,
Okay, scrap
everyone.
that. Scrap that.
Start
Morning.
over. Start over.
Hello. Speak up. Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Business Development TV TT BD TV live. I got it. I got it. It only took like 9 months. But we are live again for another episode. Hilary De Freitas, the marketing mom, and Bernadette Chinley, WSI Trinidad and Tobago.
And we
Uh,
do apologize because we did promise today that we will have an excellent webinar ready for you to improve, or sorry, to discover and fix the hidden money that's already in your sales pipeline. And to define what your sales pipeline is the process of getting your process of getting strangers onto your website and buying from you or giving you a call. That's what we call the sales pipeline, from stranger to buyer.
to buy it.
And there are lots of people who do lots of sorry, not bad. They create kinks and hoops and lots of
Friction.
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 Yes, they create
Lots of
friction
friction.
that cause their customers to leave. So
Right.
that's what we moved it to next week. Why, Hillary?
Because natural disasters tend to disrupt our lives. And we're not talking about the natural disasters of life. We're talking about, yes, hurricanes. Okay. So
Oh,
unfortunately, our
please.
guest, our speaker, kind of was in the path, let's say, and out of a abundance of precaution, we just wanted to make sure everything is okay with her, and so we moved it to next week. All right. So go ahead. Remember that you've got to register for that webinar. But today, what we decided to do is come on and share with you how to really. I'm getting feedback. Are you?
How
So
to connect? Is it from
yes,
me? Oh, is it from you?
yes.
It's from
Go
me?
ahead. Yeah.
No, I didn't use my headphone. Sorry. Sorry. I
Right.
forgot.
So we're talking today about how to connect your
Connecting.
sales and your marketing via video. All right. Video marketing. And you would know that, we've been doing video, as I said earlier, it only took me 9 months to get the name of our show right. Okay. We've been doing this video for
Yes.
9 months.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about how you weave the very thing that we're doing, video, into your
Into
marketing and to connect the sales with your marketing.
Right. And the reason why we see that as very important is because of three very simple points. 70% of the sale happens in search. All right. Now, you may argue that people are not searching in Trinidad and Tobago, and I argue humongously that we are actually doing a lot of our search. And when our search results come up, we end up either in Denmark or Colorado, USA. And if you want to show up as a business in Trinidad and Tobago to get local customers, you need to be there. So therefore, you need to be producing content. All right.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
so 70%
Definitely.
of the sale happens in search.
In search. Yeah.
Upwards of 50% of the sale in the mindset of your buyer, that trust factor is built in your marketing message and in your marketing content. And after lockdown, with all this COVID story going on, some people backed off from ads, and some people tripled and quadrupled and tentupled their ad spend. And what did it do? It just bombarded people with ads, and therefore, in the mind of a person who is scrolling on their lovely phone and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, they're not going to stop when they see your ad. All right.
Ad.
So
Unless they saw something before that made them stop. You know,
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So ad is interruption, and
Mhm.
marketing is the content that people want. If,
Want.
if you
Exactly.
want to understand the concepts and the differences between the two, and one does not work without the other. All right. And there is a proper sequence, or sorry, the successful marketers use the correct sequence. You improve your content, you improve your video marketing message, and that's when, after it's working beautifully, which is what we're going to share with you next week in our webinar, when it's working beautifully, then you pour the fuel onto your Kindles, your Kindle file. All right. So get it
I was
going, get
I was
results.
like I was like pointing the fuel on my Kindle. No, it would get damaged.
Not the Kindle that you read on your Kindling, little pieces of wood, us beautiful barbecue people, barbecue lovers, start the fire with.
The,
And yes,
the,
I prefer the wood flame versus the gas flame because the taste is different.
interesting.
The
Interesting. That's
taste
a
is different.
nice
All
tidbit
right.
there.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
so question, what are so you talked about the video content, the video marketing. What are some examples? Because for like, especially locally, what we find is that we don't see content from local companies. As rightly as you said, especially when COVID came in, we were seeing a lot of ads, but we didn't know who these people were. All right. So all
yeah.
of a sudden you're seeing ads and you're not seeing who they are, where you came from, what type of video content, especially if a lot of businesses locally don't want to have their face, or they don't have a face for their company. So what video content can they use to build that rapport, build that relationship with the audience?
All right. Okay, good. But yes, you want to be out there producing content, and I'm going to break up your question into a few points so you can re-ask your question if I have missed any points in answering.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So, cold calling, ads, and your marketing content have things in common in the sense that you are either interrupting or you are giving them the content that they want. That's the connection. All right. Now, in cold calling, someone calls your number. They get it either from the yellow pages or they get it from YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, wherever you put your stuff up. And they call you and they want to sell you their product. So in other words, they have scraped your phone number and they have jumped into your life and totally interrupted your life. All right. Now that's what cold calling does. So in the instant that the person answers the phone and they say hello, because I'm only going to answer the phone if I think it's a friend. And you have to remember that people have on their device who the number is that is calling them. And because I am a business, I will answer the phone because people call me and ask to me to give them a service. So I will answer the phone. Now, consider that it's, excuse me, if you're in retail and you're calling households who happen to have their phone number in the telephone directory, and you're selling vacuums or you're selling a blender, all right? Um, you're not going to call every household and says, hello, I'm calling from, let's say, for instance, Blended, all right? Because I'll go into how Blended actually did their sales. And they didn't spend any money on ads at the beginning during their test period, okay? So that you call and it says, hello, my name is Harry Posad from Blended. And I want to tell you that my blended does this and it does that and it does this and it does that. And I'm like, I'm answering the phone. I'm busy doing a project or I'm busy cooking if I'm a householder. I'm cooking dinner and whatever. Or my child might be climbing up the steps and I need to go rescue them. And I'm like, why are you bothering me with your blended story? Boom, phone goes down. All right. It's the person bounced, to use a digital marketing term. The person bounced from your cold call because you interrupted them. All right. Now, if I were to put that in a reframe, because you want to reframe how you do your cold calls and how you do your marketing message on video, on ads, etc. Okay. Now, if I were to take that same call and I were to say, call the person, call the householder, I'm calling a house because I'm selling blenders. All right. So I call the household. Let's say the child is running up the stairs, and I say, "Hello, is this Marianne?" Because hello, I have your number because the phone book is in front of you and your name is there. All right. So hello, is this Marianne? And Marianne will say, "Oh my gosh, my child is running upstairs. Hold a second, I'll be right back." They rest the phone down, go rescue the child, and they come back. Yes, hello, yes, this is Marianne. How can I help you? Hey, Marianne, how are you? We have a special offer on blended. Sorry, not blended. We have a special offer on blenders, and we want to know if you make smoothies, if you make callaloo in your blender, if you whatever the service, whatever your product does for the customer. So you're asking the person doing your discovery. That's the point of it, doing your discovery. Does this householder use the product that you're selling? So it's the same thing when you go to a B2B code. You sell HR or you sell internet services. And mind you, I've gotten four cold calls in the last 2 weeks. And before COVID, no cold calls.
None.
So obviously
But
that tells me people are doing
they're doing cold calls, but they don't do the research, and that is what you're saying. And if I'm hearing correctly, it's like, even if you're doing a cold call and you haven't done the research before, do it right there on the call so that you get the feedback of whether this person is even interested in buying, right?
Correct.
So before COVID, true, I got a cold call from my service provider. They didn't even do the research before to know that I'm already a customer. You don't need to call me. It's like, I mean.
Yeah. And then what it is that the phone is actually in one name, and then your business is another name.
Or your service, yes, or whoever, yes.
Yeah,
because
so,
you're a household. So, so they're calling you and they see this. But the first question, as you said, it's like, okay, find out what they need. Don't just start with the selling. Very similar to, a couple months ago, we had the same discussion with LinkedIn when people reach out to you on LinkedIn, right? Insurance agent. So,
don't friend insurance agents.
But you connect with people on LinkedIn, and the first message they send you, just like a cold call, the first thing they say is, "Hi, I'm selling so and so. This is what we do. This is how we serve it. Blah, 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 buy my stuff."
You need your finances back in order, etc., etc. So yes. So reframe the cold call, and you will actually do the research. And with your research, you can actually use that. Hi, honey. You could use your research to improve your ads and improve your conversions.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the purpose of immediate results. Yeah. Peace. Thank you for the rabbit ears. All right. So how did Blended do their sales without spending any ad dollars? And their sales went through the roof. Do you know? Oh, you probably weren't married then. So you probably weren't paying attention to blenders.
No,
Okay,
don't
no
need
problem.
one. Don't
You
need.
don't.
I have one. And actually, this is funny story about blend. This is funny that we're talking about blenders, but I bought two blenders. The
Uh-huh.
first time I bought a blender, I bought two blenders, right?
Okay. I would.
And I only have one now because one of the kids pulled literally. It was on the counter and they pulled it down with all the callaloo, all the glass and everything. So I was like, yeah, good thing I bought a backup.
Okay, most people don't do that, but yeah, you go right ahead. But anyway, how did Blended do it? Blended went on YouTube
Yeah, most
and
people don't buy backups.
I guess most people don't buy backpacks. They went on video and they started proving to people that their blender was the best. And so they started doing
all right.
crazy things, as in, we all know that blenders are for food, all right?
Mhm.
So to prove that their blender, what was the word? Mulches, is it the word?
Consider.
Blends, all
Yes,
right?
blends.
Blends
Yes.
your food very well, and they wanted to prove that they would had a very long lifetime. So therefore, what they did is they started blending crazy stuff. And when they, after a few videos of them blending crazy stuff, because people like to see crazy stuff, all right. So they started getting a following, and people started being there for their live blenders and blended videos. And then they started commenting or daring them to blend phones, to blend screwdrivers, to blend lots of crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. Exactly.
And Blended did it. And so therefore they sold. Everybody
Right.
wanted blended blenders.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I want to tell you the other story of how to improve your sales team and how to get referrals when people say no. It works, but you gotta do it correctly, how to improve your sales team. So I just told you very quick, briefly, how to do your intro. You discover, you call the person out by name, not the full name, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not Marion Flower, if Flower is your surname, not whatever your business name is. Okay, people like to be called by their name, but use their first name because you want to stay on the call a little bit longer so you can get to the next question. And the next question is, do you, and you talk about the solution that your service or
Right.
product sells or solves. All right. And then the next question is, so if they say no on that point, then you ask, well, who do you know
Exactly.
that does this? And most of the times you
Exactly.
get a referral.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Minimum
So
one. Yeah.
the point of your sales video, the point of your cold calling, the point of your content, your marketing content is to get people to raise their hand and say, I want to know more information. So when they raise their hand, they're going to come to your website. And because you have piqued their curiosity and say, maybe this person can solve my problem, and they come to you and they go directly to the landing page that you talk more about what it is that they raise their hand for. So there is a process. You have to have the proper links lined up in a row. Now, mind you, I am guilty that because I'm a marketer, I focus on my clients. So my clients' process is set in place. Mine, well, the shoe, what is called it? The cobbler wears the worst shoes.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly. Definitely.
I mean, for instance, we do video marketing. I mean, you and I could spend an hour doing makeup, an hour putting on the scarf and going and buy the nice, pretty clothes and so forth. But to me, the content of what we're doing is more important than spending the hour of getting ready so that
Yeah.
people could look at me and be happy that I'm delivering excellent content. My focus is on delivering the content. Okay. Of course, I'm going to look professional. All right. I wear my WSI shirt because that's my logo, that's my brand. And so, therefore, that's what I focus on. If you are selling makeup, then definitely you need to focus on yourself. If you are,
Yeah.
if you're working on, if you're selling tires, you don't need necessarily to be dressed in a business suit. You actually dress in the overalls that a mechanic or a tire person wears. And then you talk about tires. You talk about how to choose tires. You talk about how to make sure your tire doesn't go down and when your tire gets fat and that kind of stuff. So that goes into the next thing. The mindset of how to improve your sales team. It's really you, the business marketing team manager or the business owner. I beg you to remove the whip, to remove the demand for perfection, remove the pressure from you pressuring your sales team to get results. Better way of getting your sales team to perform better is to give them flexibility, to encourage them to do training. And when I'm talking about training, I'm not talking about sending them to Roytech to get a sales certificate. All right. There are lots of content on YouTube, on Reddit, on LinkedIn, there are lots of people showing you, like what I just said, that first minute in front of your when you do your cold call, and your first minute in your video needs to be absolutely spot on in terms of telling that person how to solve their problem. All right. So remove the whip, improve your sales team, give them lots of claps, celebrate every single win, and specify the KPIs that you're looking for. And I'm not saying KPIs of 6 months down the road, you want it tomorrow. That's not going to work. You have to test. And when you test, it's going to improve. And when you improve that conversion funnel, that sales pipeline, you have the best conversion percentages from your sales pipeline. Then you click add and display and retargeting and multi-targeting and following and voice messaging and messenger marketing and all the other marketing and ads that come after that. Okay, because the big money is when you put the big budget, marketing budget, ad spend budget behind a message that works. And in that sense, marketing is no longer an expense, it's actually an investment, and it gives you ROI. It gives you return on investment. And that's how you improve your sales teams, because your sales teams are going to give you the fastest results to get the working ad.
Right.
Any points I left out?
Well, we talked about the testing. Yeah, so well, you kind of hit on that, and we kind of drove that nail in when we were talking about what which of them is going to give us the best results. Obviously, if you do more cold calling, you would know what you have to do, and then you pour fuel on that. The type of content, right? We didn't, what video, right? Blended's example of those crazy videos. But what if your company, you don't? So it's kind of tough to be a little creative in that area. But depending, like say you're a woodworking company or a furniture company, what other type of content, video content in specific, can you share?
Well, the several types of content that you can put out is animations, or GIFs, you can put out, and these are what we call these scroll stoppers. These things that are going to cause people to stop scrolling. So that's the first intent of your video, to stop people from scrolling past your video.
Right.
So the GIFs and the animations, you can also put the content on a doodle type video with a voiceover.
Yes.
And then the one that actually produces the most results is, ta-da, Hilary and I, live video every week.
Every week, yes.
Consistently giving you new information.
Finally getting the name right.
And yeah, on helping businesses make better decisions in how to direct their marketing teams and how to get their marketing teams to be performing more efficiently. Now, like yesterday, I was on a call with I just did a friendly call with someone who reached out to me on LinkedIn. And he is in the technical field. He does networking and he does improving people's Wi-Fi services. And then he went into a bunch of technical words and so forth. And I was like, yes, people like to hear the technology and the model numbers and all the technical jargon. But you know what? I'm not going to buy if I don't see how it's going to solve my problem. So the first thing, if you were to be doing a sales call, we were just on a quick conversation. So if he was doing a cold call to a prospect, or if you're creating video, then you need to be talking about the pain that your best customer has. Because when you talk about the best pain that they have and you focus on that, then your customers are going to come to you and says, can you solve this problem for me? And then you go into, okay, what's your problem? And then you explain, yes, we can do that. And then you give them a little bit more clarity, answer their questions, focus on their questions, and then you will get the sale a lot faster than if you sell a person who calls you and says, can I know more about you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the second part of improving your conversions.
Conversions, yes.
All right. What else? Oh,
So
we didn't talk about, so we only have 2 minutes to talk about how to increase the traffic to your e-commerce site and to your page. Now, I'm not going to get through everything in 2 minutes. So comment with, give me my white paper on improving my cold calls and videos. That's kind of long.
Yeah, just say white paper.
Yeah, white paper.
Just say white paper,
right?
And we will shoot that over to you.
And I will send that over to you. Send my notes over to you today. I'll have a better code next week, But anyway, testing as it is, okay? Testing.
Exactly.
I was thinking of the comment to tell you this, and I forgot to come up with it. So sorry. Anyway, how to improve traffic to your e-commerce website and your e-commerce page. Now, I say e-commerce page because there are a lot of people buying pages on e-marketplaces. They're like, maybe 4 e-marketplaces that I observed in the internet space, locally invented in the last, shouldn't use the word invented, built in the last 4 months in Trinidad and Tobago. But so if you have an e-commerce page, great, not a problem. Now, I'd like to inform you not to rely on your e-marketplace, your platform that you're on, to do your marketing.
Marketing for you, exactly. You got to do your marketing yourself. So regardless of where you are, and that is something where even when, we were specifically talking about that with Jeff a couple months ago, you could be on Amazon, you still got to do your own marketing. Just because you're there in a place where people are going to buy, you still have a lot to do to get people to that page.
Correct. Right? Don't Not because you built your e-commerce platform, not because you're on Shopify or you're on Wix and everybody knows about Wix, and you're on a WooCommerce, or you built the most fantastic e-commerce platform on Magento. You still need to market that platform to get traffic to your website. All right. So how do you improve the traffic to your website? I kind of touched on it briefly. You either run ads or you share content, and content that people want to know about. All right. So how do you do that? Blogs, videos. You add new pages to your website. You can do SEO. And lots of people that are still what we call keyword stuffing their website. Hello, Panda, Penguin, and all those other updates that Google did is killing keyword stuffing and all those tactics that people do for quick SEO. All right. Now, ASEO also works as well as social media. All right. Ads based on social media messaging, that works. Social media posts that you put up that is getting high engagement is where you should be putting your ads. That's where you should be putting your ad spend. Okay. One of the things that improves your page rank is Google is going to be scoring you in terms of how many people bounce when they come to your page, when they come to your website, as well as how many people stay on your website. And which do you think that Google is going to reward?
People who stay, obviously.
People who stay. So therefore, on your website, you should have video and you should have good content that people want to read. All right. Not necessarily the reasons and the features and the benefits and the why they should buy from you. More so, help people understand how it is that you solve their problems. And that way, that is a very easy fix in terms of how to get better ranking from Google. And my bonus point is go beyond Google. There are other search engines that work very well. All right. And they're cheaper.
I do.
Yes. All right.
So that's a wrap for this week. We will see you next week for our webinar. We'd also be sharing. So look out for our content this week so that you could sign up for the webinar.
How to discover and fix the money that's already in your sales pipeline.
Am I frozen?
Slightly. You could speak. I'm hearing you.
Oh, you're hearing me. Okay. Frozen in a very nice way there too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bye everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yes. And we're going to put the link below to join our webinar for next week. We open it up to free to the persons who attend live. We will keep it open for 24 hours. And after that, we're going to shut it down because it's information that's going to get you results. All right. So look out for that. Definitely attend the live and look forward to seeing you next week.